So I'm going to, thanks for coming back. I'm going to read just a story from the New Forest Friends, a little series of books written by a guy called Simon Chadwick, who's a local to the New Forest, and he writes a number of books around about the ways to behave within the forest so that we and all the animals can all rub along nicely together and enjoy what the New Forest has to offer. Now, this book, the New Forest, it's called The New Forest Friends and the Pony Pests. You have to excuse the noise in the background. I am filming out here live in the New Forest. It's an ambulance going by. So maybe somebody has been a bit of a pony pest. We never know, but there we are. Anyway, let's have a go with this one. It has a foreword, if you like, by Chris Packham, a national treasure. And Chris Packham has to say that you or some of your friends must have ridden ponies. It's great fun, and despite the invention of cars, people still love the art of riding ponies for racing, jumping, or for just relaxation. The animals that are ridden are always tame and have been trained to allow people to sit on them and ride them. Some New Forest ponies are like this, but nearly all of those that you see in the forest are not. They're not wild animals, they are domestic animals like cows, sheep and pigs, but they're not tame either. Of course, they see so many visitors that they're not scared of people, and you can walk right up to some of them, and you can even touch them. But this can be dangerous, especially if the pony is an angry stallion or a mare with a foal. They can butt and kick and bite hard. And there's no need to be afraid of the New Forest ponies because they won't attack you, and they are the same as most animals. And if you leave them alone, they will leave you alone. And in this book, you'll see why it's best to love them from a distance. It's best for you, and it's best for the ponies. Well, that's from Chris Packham. And here we go with the New Forest Friends and the Pony Pests. It was a hot day in the forest under the afternoon sky. Up on the bank of a stream, two friends hid from sight, for the sun was too hot and the trees offered shade, so here they relaxed with cool lemonade. Said Brockenhurst the badger, "Dear Bewley, my friend, you make the best lemonade, and I've tasted no end." "Why, thank you," said Bewley, as he took a big slurp, and made Brockenhurst chuckle with a hedgehog-sized burp. And there they are, sitting in the shade having some lemonade. Across the stream from where they both sat stood an oak tree so old it was as tall as it was fat, and beneath its boughs, hidden away from the sun, Bewley the hedgehog spotted a very old chum. "Look," said Bewley, "that's Lyndhurst over there. Call him over, we've lemonade to share." "He won't hear you," smiled Brockenhurst, "he's shading, you see, asleep to the world in the shadow of a tree." And there he is, typical of a sight you actually see in the New Forest. You'll see all around the forest as you're travelling about, ponies standing under trees, having an afternoon nap, and why not? "Shading," said Bewley, "please tell me more. I've heard all about ponies, but not shading before." "OK," said Brockenhurst, "I'll tell you a story that's true about the pony pests and the silly things that they do. Now, pony pests come to the forest all year to enjoy the sights and the sounds that are found here, and when they see a pony, they seem to forget the pony lives free here, is not a pet. It was one particular morning while Lyndhurst was grazing when a family of pony pests did something amazing. Ever so quickly and dumped down like a sack, the smallest person dropped upon Lyndhurst's back. Well, this frightened Lyndhurst. He did not like it one bit, and he shook off the riders. He gave out a kick. The pony pests started shouting, and angry they'd become. Lyndhurst was so scared he decided to run. And there you go, pony pests frightening the horse. Or the pony, I should say. There's obviously a difference, and I think horses tend to be a bit bigger. Anyway, moving on. Later that day, Lyndhurst calmed down by feeding on plants close to the ground. No sooner had he started when more pony pests walked by, while eating ice cream and lollies they purchased nearby. One of the group tried to pat Lyndhurst's head, but Lyndhurst's mind was on ice cream instead. Without warning, Lyndhurst leaned forward and gobbled the cone, then trotted off, leaving the pony pest alone. Can't blame him for that one. The day was a hot one, so under a tree Lyndhurst was hidden. He was shading, you see. While standing up, he'd fall fast asleep. We couldn't do that, it's an extraordinary feat. But even here, Lyndhurst could get no rest, because along came more people. Oh, what a pest. They patted and petted, they pulled and they tugged, until Lyndhurst decided that enough is enough, and he's just surrounded, as you can see, by the people. All of those pony pests all surrounding him. Anyway, angry and frightened, there's only one thing to do, so he bit and he kicked and his frustration grew. The pony pests backed away, a couple in pain, and soon they were joined by more of the same. That pony ate my ice cream, he tried to kick me, well, he booked off our Jessica, would you believe? The pony pests were angry and they were getting quite lost, and there was poor Lyndhurst, at all at a loss. Amongst all the harsh words, a calm voice called out, and everyone turned to see what it was about. Upon a felled tree trunk perched a little old man, a carved wooden walking stick, a rest for his hand. Now listen here and understand, I'll say this but once. Ponies live in the wild here, so don't be a dunce. Our four-legged friend's not a pet, he's as free as you. You'd not like being hassled if it were done to you too. Don't tempt them with food, because they'll take what they can, and as you found out, they'll steal right from your hand. But our food can cause stomach aches and make them quite ill. There's more than enough growing, so they'll get their fill. If you spy a pony standing within shadow, use your head. He may well be asleep, even though there's no bed. Ponies are not bad animals, so with all your might, enjoy them from a distance and treat ponies right. A very good story when all's said and done, said Bewley as he noticed that Lyndhurst had gone. They packed up their things and headed home for tea, with thoughts of ponies shading whilst asleep under a tree. At evening at his table, munching on tasty food, Bewley thought of pony pests and what they do. It's all right to love ponies and it's okay to look, but just remember what you've learned from this pony book. And there he is, sitting back, having his tea. Well, that's the end of that one. Pony pests. Don't be a pony pest. And if you've enjoyed this, all the usual outlets, you can find this book. It's New Forest Friends and the Pony Pest by Simon Chadwick. Great little books to enjoy and read to your children. Hopefully pass along some decent habits. And without further ado, I shall say tatty bye, and I'll see